We are going to start the first session, session number 1. Regular classes. Class number 1. This is first class. We are going to have, okay, class number 1. So what we are going to do today? We are going to discuss, as I said, we are going to treat everybody as a fresher. We are going to discuss how to create user, what is FSM, how to create implementation user, implementation project. Already we discussed the enterprise structure yesterday. So today we are going to discuss ESC, and we'll start manual creation. Manually, we are going to create the enterprise here. Manually, we are going to create the enterprise. Here it is. Okay. First, let me complete the user creation. So we will provide you the URL like this. Like this, we will provide you the URL. So you have to just open that. We have to just open. Here it is. Enter the username and password, whatever we have given. I given 2 usernames and passwords. You can use any of that. Once we log in, create our own username and password. We'll create our own username and password. It's better to create because somebody will change the password for this. Don't use this password as it is. Sorry, username as it is. Because if somebody change this, automatically it will be changed here. You will not be able to log in. That's why first thing what you have to do is you have to create your own username and password. Tools menu, security control. As soon as we share the instance in WhatsApp group. So in the WhatsApp group only complete our communication will happen. Either meeting ID change, document sharing, video sharing, doubts, credentials, this one. So as soon as we share, so you have to go for update here. Create your own username and password. Now user account we are going to create. You can create your own username and password. I'm going to mention Finance January. You can set your password. You can go for add first implementation rules so that we can add any rule to our employees and all this. What are that implementation rules? IT security manager. One. Another one is application implementation consultant. You can use application implementation consultant, ASM underscore. The code must be ASM underscore. Over a underscore also it will work. Sometimes it will not be updated. So make sure that these two implementation roles are added for your user. So first thing, whenever we change the instance and share the credentials through WhatsApp, first thing what you have to do is create your own credentials like this. Okay. And then log in. Excuse me. Next, we are going to talk about FSM. As we have already added a functional consultant, application implementation consultant, we are going to get the output. Here it is, right? And we are entering into the functional setup manager to perform the functional setups. Over here it is. Okay, so let's see the FSM environment. It's taking a long time. Wait. Now log out from the current user and log in with your username, whatever we have created here. Finance. Enter the credentials here. Now this current user has logged into the application. First thing what we have to check whether roles has been applied or not. Go to user menu and setup and maintenance, you got it or not. It means you got application implementation consultant role. You got application implementation consultant role, you got it. Now go to navigator, tools menu, security console. It means IT security manager has been applied over here. IT security manager has been applied over here. So these two things we have to cross check. Once we start this, then we can go for. Now we are entering into FSM, functional setup manager. Go to setup and maintenance. So like this, first create your own credentials so that if somebody change that username and password, but it won't affect to your username, right? Yeah. Now once we enter into the FSM, these are the offerings we have. In Vision applications, we will find offerings, features, task list, task. These are the words we will find. Generally, in our language, we call it as domains, modules, menus, page, or form. We call these words. Offerings are nothing but a domains, financial offering, procurement offering. Like this, we are going to have it. Features are nothing but a modules, AP module, AR module. Here we call it as AP feature, payables feature, receivables feature, like this. But generally in the real time, what happened? Nobody will use this words in the project. They always call domains, modules, menus, and all task list and task. But better to use these words. It will be a standard words we regularly use in project environment. Okay. So now when we go for FSM, financials offering here. For example, you are working in the project, you joined in the project as a consultant. You want to know what are the offering your clients is enabled. Your clients are enabled. What are the offerings? Then what you have to do, go to actions menu, go to offering, go to offerings. We'll come to know these are the offerings are available in Fusion. HCM communications, order management, marketing, procurement, help desk, financials, accounting hub, Fusion accounting hub here, compensation, HCM, student management, government sector also we have, public sector, code enforcement, public sector permits, public sector planning and zoning, recruitment of the candidates. We'll find almost risk management, sales, everywhere. The moment when you choose financials here, right side, you will come to know this offerings are subscribed by your client or not. We don't call it as always license in the cloud, as I said, we'll always call it as subscription. Right now it is showing that it's enabled. It's enabled. If you want to know what features has been increased here now, and here it is. And we'll find the related documents also. These documents you may not be able to understand now. Once we complete one module, then we will be able to find that. We'll be able to understand. Okay. Click done button. This is just for informational purpose. I'm just showing you what is what. The same offerings will be working here. As I said, our work is mainly on the financials. We can search for the task here and do that setups. We can go for search the tasks here and do it. Difference is this is global search and this is only that functional area. This will search entire application, financial, supply chain, procurement, everywhere it will search. For example, you don't have the idea exactly in which module. For example, search for some lookups, administrative profiles. This we don't know exactly which module it is there. We can do it from here, but 99% will do it from here itself. And our particular modules are this. What Oracle says, if you want to maintain all your setups as a group and give some label for that, for easy updating, for easy export and import purpose, then you can create an implementation project. Without implementation project also, we can do the setups and we can complete the project. It's not mandatory. Implementation project is just a label you are giving for all your setups. Let's say our financials implementation team, we have total 6 members are there. One person is doing AP setups, one person AR doing, one other person is fixed assets, another person cash management, like that. I want to track who has done this setup. As a team leader, as a project manager, I want to assign this all tasks to my team members. And I just wanted to check the project status. I just wanted to show that project status to my higher management. Then obviously we have to go for implementation project. I cannot open every task and okay, see this ledger setup I have done, see this supplier loading I have done. We cannot do that. Like for higher management, what they do is finally they'll ask you, I'm going to give 8 months time, let's complete implementation, development, testing, production, go live. And all of a sudden after 3 months, they'll put up in a meeting and says that, can you show me what is the project status? How many tasks we are supposed to complete? How many tasks are completed? How many tasks are pending? How many tasks are with errors? And how about your team? Out of 6 members, who is performing well. This is all I wanted to track the status. Then we will use implementation project only for that purpose, nothing else. Implementation project is just like a tool to show your project status. Like generally, other softwares we use Jira tools, other some project management tools. For project manager, earlier they used to have Excel sheets. They used to maintain Excel sheets to tell the project status, component status, resource status, how much resource time they took, and how much time, what errors they have faced during this implementation and all. But what Oracle says, you can forget about those Excel sheets and third-party tools. You can do everything in Fusion application itself. So generally, implementation project is used to maintain the project information, nothing but a project setups information. Okay. So I'm going to give the project name here as let's say Tata Financials. Give any name. So we are planning to complete this project in another 8 months. Let's say August. We wanted to complete. Of course, it can be extended, not mandatory. Finish date. Click next button. What are the modules you want to go for complete in this particular phase? We can choose financials. Within the financials, you can go for selecting the options. Here it is. Of course, after some time, for example, first I want to complete general ledger and account payables. Later, I want to go for add account receivables. No issue. We can add anytime modules to the implementation project. It will allow. Now here, select offerings, whatever the modules you want to go for implement. Select the offerings, whatever modules you want to go for implement. Go to financials. Click this financials offerings. Within the financials, excuse me, you want to implement supplier invoice, nothing but account payables, expenses module, fixed assets module, customer invoice, nothing but account receivables, revenue management, intercompany transactions, analytics automatically it comes by default. We don't need to worry about lease accounting. This all we have. Right now, general ledger automatically it comes. We don't need to do anything. By default, GL will be there because without GL, there is no question of finance, right? That's so I'm going for supplier invoice processing. Supplier invoice processing, I'm going ahead here. Save and close the project, or we can go for save and open. Let me just close it so that we'll come to know the navigation again here. Let's click done button, log out and log in. log out. Now go to setup and maintenance. Now we are in FSM, functional setup manager. Now go to task list here. Manage implementation projects. And choose your implementation project. Now this is offering financials. Within that, we will find these are common financials configuration, banking configuration, general options that financial reporting, this invoice and payments. This is our main supplier invoices and payments configuration. Okay. We'll find this is a task list, nothing but a menu. And these all are the tasks. We can direct one task is nothing but a one page. We'll open the page and perform the setups. So in the interviews also, they may ask you, have you created any time implementation project? Yes, I have created. How many implementation projects? Only one is enough. One only implementation project. And why we require this? Just to know the status of the project and also for export and import the implementation project setups. Why we want to export and import? Whenever we want to move from development to testing to production instance, that time we have to go for export the setups, and again we have to go for import the setups over here. How you can perform exporting and importing? Here only we will find. Here we can find manage export and import process. And if you want to delete this exporting process or whatever you have done, you can do that. Okay, so that's finally you can use the review topology. Nothing but once you go for export and import, you can see the status of this project. Means whether all setups has done successfully or not. Total. For example, you have done 300 setups and you exported. Again, you imported. All these 300 are uploaded or not. So that's going to be verified here. Okay. Now, managers can cross-check. For example, they can choose this project name. There is a button here, overview. Click the overview button, which will shows the project status. So total number of tasks are available. So total number of tasks are available over here. We'll find it, right? 401 tasks, and how many tasks has been completed we can find here. And this is the status here. And anyone has completed resource status. For example, the manager is going to assign some tasks to 2 employees. What manager will do? Will just go to implementation project. This tasks employee manager is assigning to This task manager is going to assign for next. Let's say he's going to assign this task to some other employee, cash management and banking configuration. Now we can see the project status. Okay. We can see that total tasks around 400 plus were there. Again, 41 tasks has been assigned to the teams and still pending. 362 tasks are not assigned to any resource. And we'll find the resource status here. For this employee, we have assigned 38 tasks. For this employee, only 2 tasks. For this employee, 1 task. Like that. Okay. So whenever the employees are going to do that particular task, for example, Mr. Kelvin has completed some tasks. What he will do is he will log in. Like this, employees, whenever they complete that particular task, they'll just update it's completed. Like this, they'll provide the notes also. Means the entire history. In future, in case if any new employee comes, when they get status of that particular KT and all, they will find all the information here. Now click done button. Now go for overview. Go to assignment status. The manager can go to assignment status and search for the tasks which are pending this due dates. Because when manager is going to assign, they can set the due date for the tasks and cross check, right? And they wanted to know, for example, what are the tasks has been completed so far, completed by, based on this employee also they can search. So it's like complete project management status. These are the things as completed by the employees also. Yes. Okay. So like this implementation project is going to be helpful to manage the project information. So when the people are doing, generally when you are working in the project, there will be only one. Here we have multiple because we are practicing, everybody is creating this setups. Okay. So whenever you are doing the practice, of course, you can create your own implementation project and do the setups. For example, you created this implementation project and you have done some setups. Let's say you configured payment terms, distribution sets, and invoice holding, invoice releases. And the same information you can access from here also. Internally, entire everything is a Fusion application. So these are just labels here we have. Then why we created multiple, that is students has created for their own practice purpose, right? That's why I said, when you are working in the project, there will be only one implementation project. For financials, one; for supply chain management, one; for human capital management, one, like that, because they want to assign this work to them and perform the activities over there. It is. That's how it is going to work. Here it is. Okay. That's about the implementation project. Here it is. How we can perform this implementation project. It's completed. Next, enterprise structure we talked about yesterday. First, we'll be defining an enterprise, and then we are going to have, let me open that particular page. So this is what enterprise structure. In the last class, we have discussed how to configure this enterprise structure by using ESC, stands for Enterprise Structure Configurator Tool or Wizard. Okay, so where we have done that through this. So go to implementation project, search for the task. Establish enterprise. Here task names we have to remember, because the navigation we cannot remember. It will be too lengthy. So it's difficult. But task names will be very easy. Manage payment term, manage invoice, manage payments, manage suppliers, manage invoice holds, manage customer sites, manage collectors. So that's very simple. Very few tasks we will find like this. So let's go for establish enterprise structure. Open the task here. And then, wait, what happened? I'm going completely slow in the initial classes because people will be very new and you didn't get any instance so far. See, this is a new instance actually. This is what the enterprise structure, which is already loaded. And we discussed in the last class what is meant by loaded and what is meant by not loaded. This all it is. But we don't follow this one. So we'll be creating our own enterprise structure manually one by one. But we don't go with the enterprise. We will use existing enterprise. Enterprise will be using existing one because already structure is loaded, right? But within the enterprise, we are going with our ledgers. our legal entities, our business units, our reference data sets, and other reference data set objects will be performing. Divisions we don't create. I'll show you where do we create, but we will not be working. It's not going to be the part of our future. No futures given by Oracle. Maybe in future they can provide, but we can find the definition. What is division and how it will work. Okay. So next, when we start, just 1 minute. Charging is done. Okay. So next we are going to find the documentation, which is very important, especially for functional consultant. So definitely they'll ask you the definitions. We can tell the definition in our own words, our own language. But whenever we are talking as a functional consultant, experienced consultant, they will expect to use the standard words. If they ask us, for example, can you explain the uh, supplier data model? We have to say that whenever we want to configure the suppliers, we'll configure first supplier profile by choosing the corporation, and then supplier vendor type. After that, we'll configure supplier address. Then we'll go for configuration of supplier sites and site assignments, and then assigning these sites to the business units, and then the context information. Like this, we are going to have this information. Okay, so that will be specified. Okay. That's why Oracle has excellent documentation as provided. Excellent documentation. Go for Oracle. Sure. Oh yeah, Oracle Enterprise repository for Fusion applications. There is a cloud applications implementation. There is an on-premise applications implementation. Already we discussed that we are going to work with the cloud. So your Fusion applications with cloud environment. Click on this. Here we can find ERP, enterprise resource planning, financials, accounting, how procurement. Here is supply chain management. Here human capital management, sales. A lot of tools. That's why I said by 2025, I don't think so other ERPs can compete with Fusion applications because they do not have these many modules in the cloud environment. For example, SAP is there. They got all these modules, but not in the cloud. They are not that much. SAP is the major ERP product, which is a competitor for Oracle always last 20 years. But they are very good in on-premises. But in the cloud, they are not up to the mark with Oracle because the only reason is simple. SAP does not have their own data centers, nothing but they do not have their own servers for establishing the client applications. They have only servers for their ERP. Only their ERP they can provide in the server, not that. Now we need go for financials. Oracle is just opening in every country. Almost every country they will be having data centers going forward. Go down. Select all books. For functional consultant, three skills are very much important to get a job and to work in the job, other than the subject. Subject, of course, is required for any consultant, whether functional or technical or DBA or integration, doesn't matter. But especially for functional consultant, you can start building those skills right from the first day. Three things. One is presentation skills. Second, documentation skills. Presentation skills, documentation skills. And the other one is communication skills. These three. So you should present what you are going to explain to the client, because they have to understand, right, what you are going to tell. When they understand, they'll give the requirement gathering. Then we can start working on it. Now it is showing that here, let's start building those things right from today. So Oracle Financials 22D. So in the interview, they may ask you which version of Fusion applications you are working. We are working with release 13. Release 13 is the latest version last 3 years. It will never change. It will never change. After 3 years also release 13 only. But update will be there. Update will be there for every 3 months. Right now, it is showing 22D. What is the meaning of that? Third quarter, 2022, fourth quarter, sorry. 2022, fourth quarter. That is. Just 1 minute, it's raining in Hyderabad. So 2022, fourth quarter. Every year there will be a 4 quarters. Right? So January, February, March. Right now we are in January 23. So actually 23A should come. By maybe it takes another 10 days. Because they will give the latest version to only the clients who are commercially using this product. We are using this product for training purpose, right? If you are using, means if you are a main client, end client, they will provide complete applications, like up to date. So we can say that always across the world, every client should be on the same version. If client says that I will use the release 1322A, Oracle won't agree. They won't give. They'll say simple, we are ready to upgrade the product. You don't need to put any expenditure. You don't need to take any risk. Additionally, you are going to get a new features. Then obviously every client will accept, right? Like how we will go for update our mobile. Our mobile, you will see that latest updates are there. You want to go for update, just simply click on that. Within 5 minutes, your mobile will be updated and restarted. Again, it will be ready. Nothing will happen for existing data. New features will be updated. The same way, cloud also same like this. So that's why whenever we are working with the clients, the current version only will be there. Across the world, you work for any client. Because this server is under the control of Oracle. All these servers are there in Oracle data centers. So Oracle DBS or Oracle administrators or Oracle cloud computing architects will update all these things. It's not actually our job. It's not our DBS or administrators. Oracle will do that work with free of cost. That's the advantage of the cloud actually. Otherwise, if the latest version comes into the market every year or every 3 years or every 5 years, client needs to upgrade their product to the latest versions to get the latest features. But this job is going to be done by the cloud companies. That's why many clients are interested to go for cloud because they are doing free of cost whenever the new version comes. Okay. So that's the reason whenever we go for an interview also, we have to say that the current, you can remember, for example, by March, if you are putting a resume, 23A. April means again 23B, April, May, June. July means 23C. 2023, we will simply say 23. So if they ask you, can you tell me which version of Fusion applications we are working? Release 13.22D. That's release 13 is not required. Sometimes what happens if you simply say 23A, they may ask you which release again. Why do we need to give that option? So simply we'll say release 13.22, 23A. That's how we can go for explain. Right. So now once we go to financials here, I have explained the versions and all. Let me put it here. It is. This is just for starting about the cloud. What we discussed last two classes. What is the necessity of cloud and all. This is something advanced AI for financials, analytics, and other things that we don't need actually. We need implementation here. Implementation, which module we are starting initially? General ledger. So implementing enterprise structures and general ledger. This we are going to start. Before that, FSM, there is a PDF. If you have time, you can just go through. FSM means what we discussed today morning: offerings, task list, task, features, implementation project, assigning the task, how the employees can update. This all information will be specified here. That's what FS functional setup manager. But whatever we have discussed, that is sufficient. We don't need to go through this entire PDF, but still you have time, just go through it. Whenever you go for Oracle documentation, a lot of things will be covered. If you go through all those things, then again it's a problem, because excuse me, a lot of other features will be explained. But we will be discussing only real time, whatever we use, project oriented, that we are going to talk about. Okay. So that's about the documentation. You can go for HTML format or PDF format. So this is about the first session, what we have discussed. This recorded session I'm going to share through Google Drive. So last 3 sessions are there in our YouTube channel. You can go for subscribe for that and get it. Now this classes we are going to have through Google Drive. I'm going to share. You can download that according to your requirement. Yeah. So any doubts now, you can go for unmute yourself and ask.
Yeah, hi sir. Like you told, like we can export the tasks to any other instance, right?
Yes, yes.
So how to download that into the one more instance?
From this instance, we'll download. Again, we'll upload into another instance. Right. So you have done the setups here. Then you have to go for export from this instance. So that data will be extracted into the XML format. Once we export, again you have to log into another instance. Same task you have to go. So whenever you go to here, it will ask you import. It will ask you the import. You need to choose your import file. Whenever you choose the import file, it will go for upload it here. And after composition of the import, you can go for compare this file. Here.
Okay, so like it's a XML file that gets downloaded, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Can you show that also, please? Option.
We'll discuss.
Yeah.
We'll discuss in the next sessions. Yes. Any other doubts here?
Sir, just can you show again where to create that account? I was unable to find that user account.
Sorry?
The
user account?
Yeah.
Have you created?
No, I have not created. I'm using the old credentials which I got.
Okay. So you go through this video and try to create, and if you get any error, by tomorrow you can ask.
Okay.
Sir, after assigning roles, can we remove that role, sir, for users?
Yeah, we can remove. It will allow you to delete.
Okay, sir.
There is an option here to delete the roles and again add the roles. You can search again here. After you search, then you can go for here, edit. You have to go to edit. Go down. Here is option. Okay. And guys, let's, yeah, please.
The IT security manager, the role that you have given, we shouldn't select the one which is having copy, right? Aura, but not the one which is copy.
Yes, yes. Copy we don't use it.
Okay.
Sir, is there any document where we can find the list of roles? Suppose if a client want just to post the journals.
Actually, for every module, there will be a 4 to 5 roles. Entire financials module will come across around 10 roles, 10 to 15 roles maximum. These all role names must be by head on our fingertips. It must be there, and we have to understand that role functionality, what it will do. For example, they'll ask you, I want to make only payments to the supplier. User should not do any other activity. So we have to understand which role is there for that. And for that role, again, any customizations are required, how to do that. We'll be discussing that time. There is a standard documentation. If we just now I have shown you, right? Documentation. There you can find all the role names. But we don't need all those role names. We regularly use for every module 3 to 4 standard job roles that will try to customize or create a new role according to our requirement. Yeah. We'll see that when we are talking about roles and securities.
Sir, if we delete the task, if you delete the role, task will be also deleted, sir?
No, no, no. Just role is just permission. For example, you got a role and you performed some transactions. After that, you have removed the role. It doesn't mean that it will remove the transactions. Transactions are always permanent. For example, employee has joined in the company as a cashier, and he 3 months he has worked as a cashier. He has performed all the transactions. After 3 months, we have given the promotion to him as a clerk. So cashier roles will be removed. Clerk roles will be added. Will that transactions, whatever he has done, it will be deleted? No, right? That's.
Sir, one more doubt, sir. How we will get projects, sir?
We'll discuss. We'll discuss on that because the classes have started, right? So every class will be talking about that. Today we discussed about this. Then next class when we are discussing, that time will come. Okay. Fine, guys. This is about our first class. Let's do the practice here. Tomorrow we are going to have the class. Tomorrow same time. I'll update. Not yet confirmed. I will update through WhatsApp group, or either tomorrow or Monday. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Let's see you on the tomorrow or Monday. Thank you.
Thank you.